I'll be showing you how to get your nose from looking like this to this. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ubhi. I'm a makeup artist and a beauty entrepreneur. This is where you'll find all the content I create on skincare, makeup, everything beauty related. And if there is anything specific that you guys want me to create or cover, then let me know in the comments below. You can also follow me on Instagram, which is @NinaUbhi, where you can keep up to date with daily beauty news and see lots of PR unboxing. If you like this video, then press that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell button so that you're notified whenever I send out new content, which by the way is every 3 days. I've heard of so many people getting nose jobs done, and I actually know quite a few people who have had it done. So I'm going to show you how you can make your nose look slimmer and smaller using just a few products. And maybe you've been thinking about getting a nose job done, maybe it's too invasive, or maybe you think it's a little bit out of your budget. So I'm going to show you an alternative which is completely free and you can do it yourself at home. As always, the links to each product is in the description box below. So let's get started with this tutorial. So we're going to start with the Viseart Seamless Concealer Corrector Palette, and I'm going to go for quite a dark shade. Now when you're choosing your colours, you want to make sure that you choose 2 colours. One shade must be significantly darker than your skin tone in order for it to actually work. The second colour should be slightly lighter than your skin tone, so that is helping to kind of like make that darker shade pop. So I'm going to start with the darkest shade, which is this one here, and that's going to help to really create those shadows on my nose area. I'm using the Kevyn Aucoin concealer brush. I've only done my eye makeup because the rest of the face we're going to do along with the nose. I see a lot of people who have done their nose contour and they've contoured it so much that it actually ends up looking disconnected from the rest of the face, and if anything they've made it just stand out more. I don't want that for you guys. I want to give you everything I know and show you how I create that flawless nose contour on my clients. So let's get started. We're going to use that dark shade, and I'm starting from just from the bottom part of the brow here, and we're bringing that in. Now you can see that's created a slight kind of curve there, right? Now what I want you to know is the structure of the nose, because if you don't know the structure, it's going to be pretty difficult for you to figure out where your placement is. Now this area down here is the bridge of the nose. Now on the sides here is where we're going to create that dark line, and that's just on the side of the bridge of the nose. Now this is going to determine how thin your nose looks. So we're going to actually draw a line straight down. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. Now you can see we want to make sure that that width stays the same all the way down. We don't want one side to look slightly jagged compared to the other. There you go. Now you can see that's completely equal. Now you don't have to go into the eyebrow area. I like to do that because I just like that kind of shape it creates on my face. So it's really down to personal preference. If you feel that this area is already quite harsh on you and you don't want to really create more shadow there, just start your line from around here. Okay, so just take the parts which you feel works best with your face shape. Now with my nose, I feel like the tip is slightly bulbous, so I like to kind of really focus on slimming that area down. And I also have a very slight crooked nose, and I know other people may not see it, but it's just a personal thing. So next we're going to just create a line here and here, just below there, and we're going to just cut that area off here. Now you can take away which parts you feel work for your nose, but I'll be honest, if you do all of it together, it's going to give you a better result. So I also like to just enhance my nostril area here. You don't have to do that, but I personally like that on myself. So now that we've done that, we're just going to start dragging this down. Now we're just taking whatever colour's already there and just dragging it down. I'm going in with this shade here. It's a much lighter shade now. And the brush that I'm using is, I can't actually remember what brush it is, but you can use any kind of like small concealer brush. So it's just a much smaller brush, or you can even use a lip brush for this. Now what we're gonna do is just help that shadow pop a little bit more. So we're gonna just paint in this area here. I'm not going too heavy with the amount of product that I put on, because it's kind of be washed out slightly in a little while. Go all the way down. Okay, so you can see how that lighter shade is really helping the darker shade to pop out now. Now we're just gonna fill in this area here. Now, although this is what helps to make your nose look smaller, it really is about how you apply the rest of your foundation and your concealer. So we're gonna carry on with that so that I can show you how you can really get the best results when it comes to making your nose look smaller. I'm gonna use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in 29N, which is light to medium. Now I'm gonna apply this to this area here. And also here. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to spread this across. And we're also going to just lift this area because we all like a little lift. Same on this side. Now there are other areas that I really want to apply this, so I'm going to just take this along here, and I'll tell you why in a second. Okay, I think I've highlighted where I want to highlight. So I'm gonna let that dry just for maybe 10-15 seconds. Now, the Shape Tape you can mix in straight away, you can start blending straight away, but I personally like to let it just dry a little bit because I feel like it doesn't spread all over the place and I can keep that color compact in that area. Try it out though, because I think you're gonna love that technique. And if you do, let me know in the comments below. I'm using my Fenty 180 brush and I'm going to go into that dark shade from the Viseart palette again, the same one that I used on my nose. And what I'm doing is just kind of sculpting the rest of my face. So I usually start from the kind of top part of the ear, bring that in. Same on this side. We're going to just add some here. Now I also just take this up here. Now all I'm doing is just kind of buffing in that light concealer. I'm using a sponge for certain areas. Now we're going to go into that under eye area. You'll find letting it dry a little bit really helps. It just kind of stays in that area. Right, we're really taking up that light shade into that nose area here. You're really going to start seeing it all come together now. Like you can already see how that's just brightened that whole area up. But it doesn't necessarily mean you always need to apply the concealer everywhere. Now I always find that this area here gets dark. Well, it doesn't get dark, it is already dark. So I'm just trying to lighten that up. Quick trick, which is a bonus trick for this video, is we're gonna just make the lips look a little bit bigger. This is very easy. You literally just line your lips with your dark concealer. Just go a little bit outside your lips. How amazing is that, right? It's just amazing what makeup can do. That was just whatever residue was already on the brush, by the way, so you don't need to go in with a lot of colour. Now we're just kind of buffing in this darker shade, just so that it all looks nice and blended into the skin. And it's all just gonna really melt into the skin. Same on this side. Keep the shape the same. Drag this down. So while I've been prepping my base, my nose has had enough time to set. So now we're going to kind of buff in that dark shade and that light shade. Now I'm very lightly just kind of buffing in. And by the way, I'm using the Real Techniques setting brush. I just feel like this brush has so many different things that it can do. You can see we're just buffing that dark shade in. We're keeping the shape the same. Okay, so we're done with that. Now we're going to go over with our foundation. I'm using the EX1 foundation in number 8. So I'm using my beauty blender and I'm literally just going to buff this into the skin. I'm using a very small amount of foundation, so I want to go over my face first and then we're going to go over the nose area. Just going along the under eye and the sides of the nose, because that's where we've applied that light shade to really help kind of pinch it. When you go to the under eye area, you've got to do that. Only way you're going to get under there. Can you see how that contour still comes through? So you're not really covering it all, because it's a very thin layer of foundation. Right, we're going to go over the nose now. Very lightly, hardly any foundation on this sponge, just whatever's already on there. And we're going to go along the sides. I'm going to just go over these dark areas here. Now that we've done all of that, we're going to set everything, and I'm using 2 powders I've mixed together. I'm using the banana powder from Benai, and I'm also mixing in the Benai buff powder. I'm just setting this under eye area quickly. Now this is where you want to make sure you pinch in the nose area. So you can see I brought that really close to that contour that we did. Do the same on the other side. Now I'm going to apply the rest of the powder with my 122 brush from Makeup Forever, and I'm very lightly just buffing it in. Now I'm going to get my Real Techniques setting brush and I'm just dusting this powder away. I'm going to quickly do my brows and my lips and I'll be back in a second. So I've done my brows, lips, bronzer and blush, and now we're going to move on to the little tricks that I'm going to show you to help thin down your nose. If you want to, you could have done like your normal base and not really done all the contour and sculpting that I've done, and then add these little tricks that I'm going to show you. But ultimately, if you use this in combination with everything that I've shown you already, then you're going to get the best results. I'm using my Fenty 200 brush and my Fenty Sunstalker bronzer in Shady Biz. And you can use any bronzer which complements your skin tone that isn't overly dark or muddy. So this is quite a nice warm shade. So I'm just applying a very small amount to the brush, and all I'm going to do is I'm literally dusting off the powder, look, like that, like I'm taking off all the excess. So it's just left with a very small amount. And all I'm doing is just kind of going over those areas that I already contoured. I'm not so much focusing on that area that goes into the eyebrow. I want to leave that alone because I don't want to make it too harsh. All I'm doing is literally just pressing on these areas downwards. So press downwards, but don't drag it too far. There you go, just like that. Do the same here. And we're just going to do that little bit here that we did. And just cut it off there like we did with the cream. I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape setting powder, and I'm gonna go in with my Charles Fox powder puff. It's a triangle kind of shape. You can go with any powder puff, but I just like this because it fits in with your finger really well. So I'm just kind of pressing that into the powder on both sides. And what I'm gonna do is help pinch that nose even further to make it look smaller. And I'm gonna show you here. So you can see how we've pressed it on that side. I'm going to go in on this side as well. I think we need to go a little bit sharper here. There you go. So you can see how we've really pinched it in from either side. Now what I want to do is let that set, and we're going to move on to our highlight. I'm going to use the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle, and I'm just using I don't actually know what this brush is, but you can use like a dome eyeshadow brush. And I'm just going to apply this in a straight line across the tip of my nose. So I know a lot of people like to kind of go in with a round circle, but I like that straight line. All I'm doing is just applying it here, just to give it a little highlight. Now, if you want to make your nose look longer and even more slimmer, then you can go down the entire bridge of the nose, but I personally just like it in that little area there. I'm going back in with my Fenty 200 brush, the one that I used with a little bit of bronzer on there, and I'm just going over this area here, just to help dust away that kind of powder that we applied here. Then with this powder, I'm going to grab my setting brush from Real Techniques, and I'm just getting rid of that powder. Now I'm going towards the nose rather than brushing out. And that's just further helping to kind of keep it quite small. And that's how you make your nose look smaller and thinner. So there you go, guys. Can you believe the difference just a little bit of contouring can make to your nose? And trust me, there have been times where I've completely forgotten to contour my nose, and I'm looking at myself halfway through the day thinking, what is different about me? I'm looking different and I'm not liking it. And obviously it's my nose. And there have even been times where my husband said to me, you know, you look like you have allergy. Do you have allergies because your nose is a little bit swollen? And I'm like, no, that's just my nose, you know, without contouring. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I really hope you guys try this out. And if you do, let me know, because I'd love to know how it went for you. And if you have any questions about it at all, don't hesitate to leave a comment. I will always answer back. As always, if you like this video, press that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell button so that you never miss a video. Until the next video, take care, and I'll see you soon.